A couple weekends ago, I was reminded why I enjoy the 1/18th scale Eagle Force action figures so much. Fresh Monkey Fiction reopened their online store and put up for sale the remaining stock of some of their previously available figures. There is just so much variety from the Eagle Force action figure line. And all of this reminded me of the current figures up for pre-order. Back in October of 2024, Fresh Monkey Fiction opened up for pre-order a brand new Eagle Force 1/18th scale figure, Star Commander's Alpha Team Command Unit. With a color scheme that reminds me of the Galaxy Rangers, this figure is loaded with accessory goodness. Expanding from the original figure idea of Major Coco from years ago, this figure comes with 5 different heads to fill out your Star Commander's team. I have been enjoying the futuristic sci-fi space world lately and can't wait for this figure to drop. I actually pre-ordered several right away. So let's talk about pre-orders for a moment, and I want to mention that neither Fresh Monkey Fiction or Big Bad Workshop asked me to make this video. I just really enjoy the 1/18th scale Eagle Force figures a lot, and I really want more. There is an amazing variety of themes from the Eagle Force action figure line that you just can't get elsewhere. Short of introducing pirates and fantasy-based figures, there really is something for everyone. Eagle Force figures are not manufactured in large quantities like some other figure lines, and what is pre-ordered is mostly what is made. Last year, when the great Eagle Force drop of 2024 happened, many figures sold out quickly. Some people who were on the fence and decided not to pre-order missed out. Well, until recently, but even then, many figures sold out again. The Eagle Force figures are exclusive to Big Bad Toy Stores, so you are not charged at the time that you pre-order the figures. So there are 2 things I want to talk about that happens when you pre-order, and then I want to show you what figures are currently available for pre-order. First, you guarantee that you will get a figure. The more figures that are pre-ordered, the greater number that are manufactured. Maybe there will even be more quantities available later for those of us who didn't realize they wanted a few more figures for customizing. That leads to number 2, confidence in the 1/18th scale Eagle Force brand. I'm guessing that if Fresh Monkey Fiction and or Big Bad Toy Store saw a lot of Eagle Force figures pre-ordered, then they would greenlight additional waves. But if it's like the recent HasLab Snowcat and the pre-orders are slower than a turtle, they might not think there are enough people interested in the line. As a fellow customer on the outside, I see sold out figures as a good thing. Means they are popular and people want them, right? Well, when the figure quantities are about 300 each, selling out is not as awesome as I originally thought. I remember seeing somewhere online that 300 is about how many of each Eagle Force character/figure are made. Anyway, this is my way of trying to get the word out and reminding you all to please pre-order the current wave if you haven't already, or at least pre-order figures that really grab your attention. Because I want more Eagle Force figures in the future, and I especially want some of the new Eagle Force women figures. Come on, please help me. Alright, enough of that. Let's jump in and take a quick look at all the figures that are currently up for pre-order. First, we have Blackrope. He is a survival expert, and he's part of the Eagle Force Returns subline. He doesn't have a lot going on here except for he's got a ton of hands, and if you're familiar with Fresh Monkey Fiction, all of their figures tend to have a lot of hands. It's not just Eagle Force like I originally thought, it's everything they do. So many hands. This guy has bare hands and gloved hands. He's even got a couple cuffs up there to go around the wrist. He also comes with this bow, a quiver. I'm not sure if the arrows are removable. I'm going to take a wild guess and say they're not. And a handgun that fits there in his side holster. I would say he's a pretty basic figure. Nothing really crazy or exciting, but I like it, so let's go. What's next? We have the red-haired shortstop. He is a heavy weapons specialist and also part of the Eagle Force Returns subline. Again, this figure doesn't have a lot going on. He's got bare hands, he's got partial gloved hands. It looks like a grenade launcher and a handgun that would fit in his side holster. He comes with what looks to be some camo pants. They're very dark, I can't tell if they're camo, and some sort of a baseball jersey. Shortstop is baseball, right? So yeah, so a baseball jersey and I'm guessing is a removable hat. I don't think I've seen these types of baseball hats permanently on these figures. So yeah, we got shortstop. Next, we come to the Arrow, and he is a sharpshooter, part of the Liberty Legion subline. Now this figure has a bunch of accessories. He doesn't have nearly as many hands as the other figures. He's just got a few sets of hands. Now, it's always possible we're going to get more accessories with these figures. If I remember correctly, with some of the figures last year that we pre-ordered years ago, there were some additional accessories we weren't expecting. But this guy has a bow, a crossbow, a quiver with arrows. Again, I don't know if the arrows are removable. He has... It looks, I'm guessing it's like a sniper rifle, but then there's this little piece that I'm not quite sure what that is from this point of view. Maybe it's another kind of a crossbow. I'm not really sure. I like his red outfit. It gives a very superhero type of vibe, which I like. He's got a mask, and I'm guessing the hood is removable as well as the goggles. And actually, I'm going to even go one further and say that the rope that's around his torso is also removable. I like the red on this. I think these would be some pretty cool for some parts to swap out with some other figures. There's something on his right hip, and I can't tell if that is something removable or not, but overall it's a pretty solid looking figure. Now, Captain Eagle should actually appeal to quite a few of you if you've missed the Kickstarter, because if I understand it correctly, this is just a new updated version of the original Kickstarter figure. He is, of course, the leader, and he's part of the Eagle Force Returns subline. Now, he also doesn't have a lot of hands, just a couple bare hands to swap out there. It looks like they're all right hands because his left hand is gold. Is that mechanical, or is that just something to cover his arm so he can hold the eagle? I'm not real sure. He's got a variety of things. He got some binoculars. He has two different handguns, one of which will go in that side holster on his right leg. Oh, and he's got right down below a harness that also has a holster for the other gun and a larger gun. I'm not sure exactly what that is on the left side. Actually, that might be something to maybe prop the eagle up somehow, because I see like a little ball joint at the top of it, and I'm not really sure. It almost looks like a fire effect of some sort, but I don't see where it would connect, so it might be something that is for the eagle. But then you see the eagle up there as well. If it's the same eagle, it's a pretty decent sized bird. There is this other thing between the hands and the binoculars that I'm not sure about. That maybe it's something that hooks on the binoculars and will go around his neck, so the binoculars will hang down. Then he's got the hat that he's wearing, the beret, and most likely the vest he's wearing is removable, because a lot of the Eagle Force vests are removable. I'm not talking about the figure stands. They all come with a figure stand, so there's my one figure stand comment. But Eagle Force, or Captain Eagle, is pretty nice. If you missed it, this is a great time to get it. So let's move on to Rockwell. Now, Rockwell should kind of hint at something to you, because Rockwell is part of the Tactical Mission Ninja Troopers, or the TMNT. Part of the Blade Cuts Both Ways subline. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm not going to tell you. But if you look at the design, look at the colors, look at the weapons, you should have a pretty good clue as to what this figure is kind of hinting at. But anyway, you've got an additional head, completely green with the red mask, as opposed to the skin color of the head that's on the figure. You've got these red and green goggles, and you get a variety of green-colored gloved hands. You get this gun, and you get two sai, which, hint, hint. Now, I'm not sure if... I remember the other guy, let's call him the orange guy. He had a place for his weapons on his right hip. So we might have a place for the sai on the back of the vest. This vest should be removable. But I'm actually pretty excited that Rockwell, it's been years since we learned about these things, so I'm pretty stoked that we're going to finally get Rockwell. Hopefully we'll still get the two other colors, because it still is just like an incomplete team without these. So no matter what happens with Eagle Force in the future, I sure hope we get the other two colors, because I just don't want to miss out on those. Next we come to Sunny Yen. And this figure is an AWOL soldier, and I'm not quite sure what AWOL stands for, because it stands for something, AWOL. I'll have to look that up. But he's part of the Blade Cuts Both Ways subline. He's got a variety of skin-colored hands, and some, I'm just going to call them ninja weapons, martial arts weapons. So he's got 2 swords, 2, is it scabbards, I believe is the proper word. That little funny thing that looks like a circular mask with all the little circles, that plugs into his back. That's essentially his backpack, and the swords and sheath scabbards go into that. He also has a pair of nunchucks down in this bottom left corner, and a pair of sai, because he is very much part of, well, the blood cuts both ways, has a lot of martial art, ninja, karate. I don't know anything about that world, so that stuff. He's got camo pants on and a black t-shirt. This, I'm trying to remember if we actually had a black t-shirt with black upper sleeves, shoulder, on the arms characters, and I can't remember off the top of my head. If not, this would probably make some good customizing with that black t-shirt. And the camo pants are just pretty universal. You could do a lot with camo pants. So, moving on, we've got Hellion. I gotta say, I like this guy. Hellion is an intergalactic bounty hunter, part of the Voyager subline. This kind of leans into my recent sci-fi space enjoyment. But what's the coolest thing about him before we get to accessories is he looks to have translucent arms and a translucent face. I don't think the hair, the beard, and the eyes are translucent, just where the skin would be. And the neck even also looks like it's translucent. That's pretty neat. I don't know if there's any other figures that these arms would lean towards because of the translucency and the color tint, but it'd be pretty cool if you could use these arms probably on someone else. You could also swap out these arms if you want to give this figure skin color like the last guy, Sunny Yen. He's got the black t-shirt, so like those arms would work really well. This guy comes with a variety of gloved hands. He also, let's jump over here and look at these weapons. Bright red sword, short sword, and a couple laser guns. At least one laser gun will fit in the holster on the right side of his pants there. He's also got what I would call a trooper head. So you could actually turn this guy into a troop builder because of that space head. You can't see the face under it, so you could have several of these guys. And he also has a pair of goggles, black and red. And then the final thing, he's got one of those bubble helmets, those clear bubble helmets with the torso contraption that it hooks into, and it looks like you're gonna get like maybe a red thing to plug in there, because all those contraptions, I don't even know, the harness, something plugs into that center area, so it looks like it's gonna be something red. But yeah, I think I would like to have a couple of these guys just because of that trooper helmet. I'm not really quite sure how that would all work, but I'm thinking about it, thinking real hard about it. Next we come to the Claw Commando, and this is an urban infantry figure, part of the Liberty Legion. I think Liberty Legion, if I figured it out, is like their superhero line, because we had the Arrow, who was also part of it. I think the Arrow might be a good guy. If you know, you could correct me. I think he's a good guy. I think he's the superhero. And Claw Commando would be like the bad guy, because he sounds bad. Now, if this isn't a figure that screams buy multiples, I don't know what is, because this guy comes in total with 4 heads, including the head that is on the figure. This guy is just armored up. He is crazy. This yellow and green. He's got a couple sets of green gloved hands, and just starting in the top right corner, he's got a green beret. That's kind of funny. Or green, actually I'm not sure, is that a beret? I think it is. He comes with yellow and light blue goggles. He has a yellow and green head that you can see the skin through, and you could probably put those goggles on that one. Then I'm just going to point out the head he comes with looks mean. Actually, the next one looks mean. This one looks kind of mean. The yellow and green armored head. But then you've got like this green and yellow demon type mask. So I'm kind of curious to see how that one would look. I don't know if you could put the goggles. I might try to put the goggles on that head just for fun, just to see what it looks like. And then another head that you could put the goggles on, a yellow hair cover with a full face right there. And then you get the hood. You can put the hood on any of these heads. They probably work with the first and the last one the best. For weapons, you get a machete knife. a big gun and a small ray gun. It looks like a ray gun to me. That would fit in the right leg holster. And zooming in just a little bit, looking at the figure, you've got a removable vest, and it even looks like there are removable bicep shoulder pads, because I don't remember seeing those. I'm trying to remember back on the figures I have. I don't remember seeing armor before that's removed. I don't remember it being on there. So I think that might be something new. You could correct me in the comments, but that looks pretty neat. And I don't remember if the knee pads are removable or not. It seems like they're not. I could be wrong on that one. Then we've got Blockade, a SWAT commander, part of the Eagle Force Returns subline. Now, I just said if we haven't seen a troop builder or a multiple figure purchase yet, here is another one. And this one's even crazier because this one's got 5 heads in total. You can turn him into, well, Blockade. I mean, not turn him into, he's already Blockade, but you could turn him into a variety of troop builders. Let's look at the top left corner. The faceless one, and then the light skin colored one, the dark skin colored one, and then a masked one. And there's a hat over here. You can put that SWAT hat, baseball style hat on top of that one. You can put it on Blockade as well. There is a lot of variety. This figure has a ton of stuff. So he's got a few hands, few gloved hands. He's got this, was it a submachine gun? And then I'm going to jump over here. He's got this vest with these holes in it. And if you're familiar with Marauders Task Force, then you've got a variety of things that you can put on there. You've got these pouches and these bullets, shells, these holsters, these things. It's kind of hard to see. It looks like a logo, something. You can decorate this vest out any which way you want. You get a bigger gun, you get 2 smaller handguns, and then you get these 2 things that look like they would go in the hands, but I'm not really sure what they are. Either way, you have a holster on the leg for the big gun, you have a holster that would plug into the vest for the smaller gun, and I like this color scheme. This is a really cool light gray, black, silver color scheme. This is really cool. This I could see getting multiples of. You could put these heads on. You could put some of your other heads from other figures on this one. You could even swap out the torso and legs probably, because it's just, I like the colors. I think are really good. You could get an extra Sonny Yen, take his arms off, the bare arms with the black t-shirt shoulders, and put it on this figure, because I think the black of the shoulders would work really well. Then all of a sudden you've got a short sleeve Blockade. So that would be kind of fun, I think. Then we come to the Advocate, and here is another winner. I gotta say, this is a winner. The Advocate is the Negotiator, and he's part of the Operation Monster Force subline. So the coolest thing I think about this figure right off the bat is the translucent skull head. Now, just kind of backtracking for a moment, I kind of wonder if this will be the same translucent green as we saw on Hellion. Could you put this head on Hellion? Would it all match? Or even, like, you can see that the Advocate here is all in a, let's call it a dinner suit with a white jacket, white arms. Wonder if you could take that jacket and the white arms off and pop on Hellion's arms for translucent arms. Just kind of do some funny stuff with this. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. He's got a set of gloved hands and a variety of gloved hands and a variety of bare hands. And he also has a lot of stuff. He's got 2 heads, so you could actually make him 2 different characters. They are classified as bodyguard heads, so you could buy 3 of these and have the Advocate and his 2 bodyguards. Or, you could pretend one of the bodyguards is another character. Hint, hint. At least I think it's a hint. I don't know if it's intended to be a hint. He also has a black beret, and it's kind of cool. You can swap out the tie. He is wearing a bow tie in this picture, but you can actually put the neckline and a long tie on him instead. Now, of all the things I didn't think I ever wanted, I still don't know if I want it, but that's kind of a cool customization, swapping out the ties. I kind of wonder if... No, I'm pretty sure I know. It's probably another neckline with that tie attached. You could take that and put it on somebody else who you want to have a bow tie. He has a briefcase. We'll call it a briefcase down here in this area, this tan one. And he's got I'll be honest, I think they're explosives. Maybe maybe this case is openable and you can put some of this stuff inside. He's got a couple large guns, he's got a small handgun, and he's got like a little mini smartphone there. I'm just looking around. I don't see anywhere on him you can put that, so I would think maybe a bunch of those things can be put inside that case. But the Advocate here, he's pretty neat. I like this one a lot. And finally, we come to Delta Red, Vampire Soldier, part of Operation Monster Force subline. And I think this is a figure that a lot of people were wanting in the scale, because the 1/6 scale version is just it's a wonderful trooper. I've got a couple of them. They are so cool. I like them so much. And to see them in the Eagle Force 1/18 scale is just amazing. This makes me so happy. So anyway, you get several gloved hands. You get 2 masks that will fit on this head right there. They hook in by pegs, and then you can open them up or shut them. You get the standard head, and then you get these 2 other heads. You get what looks to be, I think, a Van Helsing head. If I understand it, I'd have to look in the description of contents, but this far left one makes me think of Van Helsing. This one is another troop builder type. It's just got the black mask over the face, and then he comes with a larger, I'm from Fortnite land, to me that looks like an assault rifle. I don't know guns. And you get 2 smaller guns. One at least will fit in the holster on the leg. Now, one thing I'm noticing, this vest that is removable, there's like this knife that's molded in. What happened? I thought we used to get knives that you could slide in. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought we used to have knives that were removable, but this is molded in. And kind of like Claw Commando, this figure also has the shoulder armor that looks to be removable. So there's a little bit longer bit of an overview of all the figures that are currently up for pre-order. I think my top 3 favorites are Delta Red, Hellion, and the Advocate. I think there's a lot you can do with those figures. These are supposed to arrive sometime early next year, so don't forget to get your pre-orders in now so you don't miss out. I really don't like pushing FOMO, but as someone trying to hunt down the early figures he missed, let's just say, don't wait.